Hi there, to begin with our cell tour, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Caption and I will be your tour guide for today. Our goal is to discuss the different parts of the animal cell and their function. Did you know that the animal cell is the basic unit of life? They have a true nucleus and has a unique structure that carry out different kinds of function that support the cell. Also, an animal cell is a type of eukaryotic cell that lacks a cell wall and has a true membrane-bound nucleus along with other cellular organelles. Eventually, an animal cell are different than plant cell. For instance, animal cells are much more smaller than plant cells, as they have unusual shape as it has no cell wall, but the animal cell share the other same cellular organelles of the plant cell. Now that you know the basics, let's illustrate and define the different parts of cell wall, such as the cell membrane, nuclear membrane, nucleus, centrosome, lysosome, cytoplasm, Golgi apparatus, mitochondrion, ribosome, endoplasmic reticulum, vacuole, and cytoskeleton. All features of the animal cell are very important as they are the ones that run and the ones that make the cell function, such as the cell membrane. The function of the cell membrane is that it encloses their contents to protect the cell, and it has a role to regulate the passage of molecules like nutrients and other entities in and out of the cell. Now let's move on to the next organelle, the nuclear membrane. Also referred as the nuclear envelope, the nuclear membrane is a double membrane that encloses the cell membrane. Its function is to separate the chromosomes from the rest of the cell. The function of its array of small holes or pores is to permit the passage of certain materials, such as nucleic acids and proteins, between the nucleus and cytoplasm. Now, serves as the information processing and administrative center of the cell. The nucleus has two major functions. It stores the cell's hereditary material or DNA, and it coordinates the cell's activities, which include growth, intermediary metabolism, protein synthesis, and reproduction. It also contains several other suborganelles such as nucleolus, nucleosomes, and chromatins that helps the nucleus to fully function and provide the needs of the cell. Known as the centrosome, it is an organelle that is located near the nucleus that has a thick center with tubules. It has a function where microtubules are produced. Microtubules are polymers of tubulin that form part of the cytoskeleton and provide structure and shape to eukaryotic cells. The function of the centrosome is to organize the microtubules and provide the structure of the cell. It also pulls the chromatids apart during cell division. In addition to our other organelles, lysosome, or known as cell vesicles, is a round organelle that are surrounded by some membrane. Its function is to comprise digestive enzymes, which helps the process of digestion, cell renewal process, and some parts of excretion. To illustrate the cytoplasm, it is a gel-like liquid that is contained within the cell. It is usually consists of water with proteins, small molecules, and ions. It has the duty to support and suspend the organelles and other cellular molecules. In this juncture, let's discuss about the Golgi apparatus, defined as the receiver of proteins from the ER or the endoplasmic reticulum. It also folds, sorts, and packages the proteins into the vesicle. It is like a delivery transport in each department of the cell. Because of its popular nickname as the powerhouse of the cell, the mitochondrion is the energy-producing organelles. Also, the process of cellular respiration takes place in the mitochondria. This system works in the way of sugars and fats cells are broken down through a series of chemical reactions releasing energy in the form of adenosine triphosphate, or so-called ATP. ATP is like the energy currency of the cell. Think of each molecule like a rechargeable battery that can be used to power various cellular processes. Now let's move on to the functions of the ribosomes. Ribosomes are organelles that is found in an animal cell. However, it is also in the system of the plant cell. Did you know that in a single animal cell there are many, as 10 million ribosomes? The ribosome synthesizes the polypeptide chain, which eventually folds to become a protein. In animal cells, ribosomes can be found freely in a cell cytoplasm or attached to the endoplasmic reticulum. The ER, or the endoplasmic reticulum, is the one that transports proteins that have been synthesized by ribosomes. The production and processing of the protein is also one of its work. It is known for its location to where the products produced by the ribosomes are processed and assembled. Furthermore, there are two kinds of ER. The rough ER has ribosomes attached to the surface of the sacs. Smooth ER does not have ribosomes attached and has functions in storage, synthesizing lipids, removing toxic substances. A simple works of system is the vacuole's work. The membrane-bound organelle present inside the cell involved in maintaining shape and storing water, food, and waste. Now let's move on to our last organelle and its function. Our last organelle is called the cytoskeleton. It has divided into three different kinds: the microfilaments, microtubules, and intermediate filaments. Its function provides mechanical support to allow cells to move and divide. It also gives the cell itself the shape, gives strand tissues to stabilize, and holds organelles within the cell. For the different parts and features of the animal cell is dependent with each other. Its goal is to make the cell as much lively as possible. The animal cell is a typical eukaryotic cell that is enclosed by a plasma membrane and its organelles. The organelles has the function to make the animal cell work, and their functions are discussed by myself. Always keep in mind that the animal cell can only be seen from an aid of a microscope. And apart from the information that I have shared, I encourage you all to research and learn more about the interesting topic. Always remember that knowledge is power.